Welcome back to another episode of Iron Rage, the show where John Romano and I unleash our fury on the world. And today's topic is New Year's resolutions and the gluttony of people that are now crowding our gyms that we love and love to work out at. John, I know this is something that's very dear to your heart. You hate, as do I, when people come in after New Year's, the people who we haven't trained for the last 10 months, the people who've gained all the weight over the last year, the people who we know will not be in the gym probably by the end of January, but who are taking up space for now. What do we do with them?
Well, it reminds me of my grandmother used to complain about, at Christmas and Easter about all the people at church. She used to call them amateurs, 'cause they would only go to church on Easter and Christmas. It's the same thing. These people make these New Year's resolutions, and to me, the whole idea of a New Year's resolution is ridiculous anyway, because I look at it this way. If you didn't do it all last year, what makes you think you're going to do it this year? It's a commitment you make anytime. It's not that it's got to be on January 1st.
Right.
So, here we got a perfect storm. You got the kids out of school, you got people taking their vacations, first of the year, and then they all go to the gym. The gym owners don't make any concession for the fact that they know they're going to be crowded. They've been pumping these memberships with end of the year specials and discounts and 2-for-1s and 14 months for 12 and all these specials they put to cram these people through the door. Meanwhile, my gym's got one friggin' leg press. I got 3,000 people waiting for one leg press. Then you got morons who don't know anything about gym etiquette. As they're signing them up, they don't tell them anything. Right. They don't explain anything to them. They don't tell these newbies, look, if you got somebody working out on something and you're waiting for the machine, you can ask to work in, vice versa. If you're working somewhere, you don't move in. You don't put your towel on the thing and sit there and text in between sets and wait, 5 minutes between sets when the place is packed full of people.
Well, yeah, you make a good point. You make a good point, because what a lot of people don't realize is that just because you got on the machine first doesn't mean that you can't let other people work in between sets. I'll go on these machines and I'll see a woman or an old guy on there and I'll be like, can I work in? And they're like, I'll be done soon.
Right.
Well, you're resting. You're resting right now. You're not training consistently. Get off the freaking machine. It's not a freaking chair to sit in. And let me do my set, which will take 30 seconds, and then you can sit on the machine another 2 minutes until you're ready to do your set.
Right.
To me, it's crazy, and you don't want to come off as this aggressive meathead, which is probably what we look like to most people. Right. So you try to be nice about it. Usually, I just walk away, because at this point in my career, I don't care about anything. But back in the day, I would have fucking gone crazy, probably.
I didn't even train today. Yesterday was so bad. It was so crowded and so disorganized, and this guy was on a leg press with his wife. Okay, there's one freaking leg press in my gym, and there's got to be at least 3,000 members. All right, one leg press, and it's got tandem ears, horns on both sides. Right, so the guy's loading his giant plates on the top set of horns, and the wife's got her little plates on the lower horns. So he's lifting her weight plus his weight. So after every set, he's taking his plates off so that she can do her set. I was there for 1 solid hour that they were on that machine. I couldn't get him set in edgewise. I had to train a different body part.
And it's your gym. And you...
An hour. 1 whole hour on a leg press.
Yeah, it's terrible. You know what? I got news for you. Today, for most people, which is Tuesday, will be worse than Monday, because Monday, even though it was the day after New Year's, it was technically a holiday, so people were still drinking it up and partying it up. This week it's going to get worse before it gets better, and I know it. But the good thing is it only lasts about 2 or 3 weeks. Then they all clear out, because they all get bored and they realize that they're not going to look like the guy at the beach in 2 weeks of training, and they just get frustrated and say fuck it, and they go back to eating crappy and they don't train anymore.
That's a good point right there. It's why don't you eat right first? Why don't you approach this systematically and say, okay, I'm going to stop drinking and eating crap first. Then I'm going to get on a good diet first. And then after a week or so of that, then I'm going to start going to the gym. and do it, in increments. But this idea that everybody plows into the gym on January 1st, look, as a gym owner, I can understand you wanting the extra members. That makes total sense. You want to sign people up. But I mean, when Joe Gold used to sign somebody up, you knew walking in that door, he is not going to tolerate not putting the weights away, not, dropping the dumbbells, not working in, not using a towel. If the gym owner or the gym manager at least meets with these people or offers like an indoctrination class, some kind of instruction on, especially these old people that just have no idea what they're doing, and they're wandering around like zombies, and they have all this crap with them. They got their towel, their water bottle, their music, their book, their pamphlet, and then they're wandering around. They put all this crap down, and then they move in, and they're sitting there. They're like on the leg extension. There's 2 leg extensions, the entire gym, and they're sitting there in between sets, and they'll do like 6 reps, and then they'll stop, and then they'll wait, and they'll look around, and they'll look at their phone, and then they'll do 6 more reps, and then they'll stop, and they'll wait, and like, just like you just said, like, get up and let me do mine, then you can do it again. I mean, come on.
I think what you should do is
go and consider it.
You got to write a list. I want the top 10 rules in the gym, and I want you to give me the list, and I'm going to go to the gym with Johnny, and we're going to film like a funny version of like what not to do, And I think it'll be a classic of all. It might be an RxMuscle classic of classics. Speaking of classics, Johnny Styles was digging up some of the old RxMuscle stuff that you and I did back in '09 and '10, and I think we're going to start putting up Throwback Thursdays. Johnny's going to start posting on our YouTube channel some of the old programming that we did that a lot of people haven't seen. It's on the RxMuscle site, but it was never on our YouTube channel because we didn't host our videos on YouTube back in the day. So you might get to see a bunch of videos that you forgot we even filmed, John, because he was showing me a couple of them. They're pretty funny.
We should like play a little bit of it and then stop and then now comment on it, commentate, on what we were doing and what we were thinking at the time, Yeah. But
well,
yeah, you know what else I found when I was unpacking my office? I found a cassette tape of an interview I did with Craig Titus in 1996. Remember when he threw his number? He took his number off and threw it and went haywire, and Mike Christian ran up on stage and told him to calm down. Yeah, I got that whole interview. So
I was at the show. I was in the show with him.
Yeah, well, we were all there.
In his wake.
But it's on a big cassette. It's not on the little one. So that one's a little easier to play. But we still got to do your interview.
Can you? Yeah, I was going to say, can you go buy a micro mini player? I'll give you the cash for it. Just go on eBay and find one, or Craigslist, get one. And just let's get the Bleckman tapes off of there, because we got some precious footage on there that people never have heard. Even I haven't heard them,
Yeah, I mean, because I didn't use all of it for the interview, But now what's the rumor now? He's out of business. I've been hearing this left and right. Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know. It's been very quiet over there. It's like a ghost town, so who knows? I'm sure he's like hiding. There's probably people banging on the door trying to get paid. I'm sure the office workers are probably owed money too by now. But maybe no one's going in and working anymore. I don't know.
Maybe they're all boycotted the place.
Can you imagine imagine they're picketing outside the MD offices in Setauket? Imagine like Alan with like a sign, strike, and you got Denise, walking around there, and who else works there? There's probably a couple of the creepy people there, I'm sure still.
Probably still the same ones.
What's his name there? The tall guy, the dorky guy?
Oh, the Lurch. I don't know if he's still there.
Imagine they're all blocking the entrance, and Bleckman doesn't want to be a strike blocker. He doesn't want to like cross the picket line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like he doesn't want scabs working either. So
he's afraid to cross his own picket line.
It's funny you talk about people picketing. If somebody drove by and saw the employees out picketing, they would never believe they worked for a bodybuilding magazine. The biggest band of misfits working over there, and I think it was, he used to come, Elise wouldn't let any good-looking girls work there, so they all had to be, fat and old and.
Well, we'll see. I'm sure over the next month we'll find out what's going on for sure over there. Although Dallas McCarver's still under contract, so someone's getting paid over there, I guess.
Well, he's got to honor his contract if he signed it.
He hasn't honored anyone else's contract, so I don't know why he would honor his, except for glute pictures and stuff like that. That's the only thing I can think of. Well, the bottom line is, it is the new year. The New Year's resolutions are out. If you do decide to sign up and go to a gym, you haven't worked out in a while, just remember, okay? We all work out there together. We share the equipment. We're on the same team. Ask people nicely, hey, you want to work in with me? Make sure you wipe all your sweat, especially you fat people who gain too much weight over the holidays and you're sweating all over the machines. Wipe your sweat off the machines so the guys like us, okay, can get on the machines and work, and we don't have to worry about laying in your puddle of your slime. These are just basic tips of etiquette. And if you do that, it won't be a horrible feeling for us regular gym members that have to deal with you people that are only going to be here for 2 to 3 weeks.
Right.
And that's the final word.